So last week, Rivian flew out a whole bunch of influencers to Utah, and they got to check out the R2. And that video was embargoed until yesterday. But today, I'm getting to do a demo drive, and I brought my own cheat code. My buddy Zach from the Bay Area Rivian Club and NorCal EVs. We are going to take the R2 out and treat it like normal people do. We're not going to have engineers. We don't have RJ hanging out with us. And we're not going to take and look at anything special like teardowns. But we've got about 10 minutes with this thing. So we're going to hit the road. We're going to take it the way families do, out there in the neighborhoods. We're going to take it to a park. We're going to get our impressions. He's got an R1T, so we're going to get him behind the wheel for a second, let him tell us how it's different. I'm going to get behind the wheel and see what I think. Let's start off with that. Let's hit the road. This is Bo Family EV, and this is the R1T. No, it isn't. What is this?
This is the R2, buddy.
This is Bo Family EV, and this is the R2.
All right. Well, I got you.
We're gonna see what this thing does.
I'm really curious to see what you think coming from a Ford, never driven a Rivian before either.
No, yeah, that's what's crazy. Never been in a Rivian. I tell right off the bat, the smooth and quietness is great. That's exactly what I'd want. The R1T has a motor hum or motor noise that I normally hear, which so far I'm not hearing out of this, which is cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to be turning right. So, interesting blinker sound. Is that the normal blinker sound for Rivian?
It's a little different in the R2. The R1 sounds kind of like a woodpecker knocking on wood. It's just like...
So I think the big thing here, man, that I'm curious about is just to take it and treat it like normal people do. Because, so far watching all the cool influencers that I've seen, man, they got to tear down and look at like what's that drive called? The maximum drive, the Maxo drive. And they're talking about the windings and all the engineering, and they're talking about the suspension. And I don't know, man, people aren't buying it for that, to be honest. That's not why people are buying R2. And that's the fascinating, but this is what it's really about to me. It's about taking it out here into, the neighborhoods and where people live. And I think that's what we're going to go do. We're going to go visit, a park where people take the families. We're going to see if there's a spot people typically go with R2. That's where people are going to see it. This is where people are driving it. And we can talk about why people buy this thing and where the market is and what's been missing, where I think R2 is going to get all the sales. Yeah. I don't know what you think, man, as a current Rivian owner. What made you kind of curious about it?
Well, it's the new thing that one of my favorite companies has come out with. It's kind of the next gen of where Rivian is seeing their technology and where it's going, and so that's what I'm most curious about. And I've gotten to look at R2 over the past couple of years in terms of like the prototypes and the validation builds and everything, and just to see it come together is like super awesome. And then just to kind of see like where the engineers and like what they were thinking, because I remember reading somewhere online, I forgot where, but R2 actually came before the R1S, so they've been thinking about this for 4 or 5 years now. And it's awesome to see it here, but then it's also awesome to see kind of the advancements over the past few years. Because I mean, like my truck's a 2023, and so we're sitting in a 2027 model year. And so to see the advancements over the past 4 years and what that looks like, because even like the difference between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 R1s, oh yeah,
there's that motor hum. There's
Yep.
that whine that I'm used to hearing. Sorry, I just wanted to see
it's
how
all
it would go off
good.
the line. It goes.
It goes,
It
man.
goes.
That was
Sorry.
no, it's all good. It totally feels like the Gen 2 R1 sounds like one also. We have the ride feel and firm. And we're going over a pretty bumpy road right now. There's some seams in the concrete, and can't really feel it. Like it feels like my truck, my R1T, in soft mode.
We'll let you drive this on the way back because I'm curious how it feels for you. Now you're feeling it as a passenger.
Yeah.
As a driver, this feels every bit as good as my Lightning, which of course just has normal. It's got the independent rear suspension.
Yeah.
I also like, and I appreciate this about my Lightning. It's got it's locked in right now. Like it's not squirrely on the steering. It's very locked in. It's planted, as a lot of EVs are. But this is way better than. Like my wife's older Model Y, for example. It's to be expected. It's an older Model Y.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, it feels exactly as I would expect it to. Obviously, it doesn't have air ride. But no, it feels smooth. It's very quiet.
Yeah, it is extremely quiet. Like, there is no wind noise. There's no, like you mentioned, there's no real, like, motor noise.
Only when you accelerate hard.
Only when you punch it.
Yeah.
Which was expected, and it sounds awesome. Like the in-house Rivian motors are amazing. My R1T has the old Bosch motors. I mean, Granted, I love the sound of my motors. Even when I have my Model Y, I love the sound of the Tesla motors. So I'm just like electric motor guy. Like, it just sounds like you're in a spaceship. But I am, as a passenger, I'll tell you, I'm super impressed. This seat is like super comfortable. It feels like a really more solid version of the seats in the R1. Obviously, they're a little bit smaller, but there's really good bolstering around the sides. The cushion is really soft and comfortable. I have lots of legroom. I don't even have the seat back all the way, and I'm 6 foot, and I'm fully stretched out and still have room to move. Like, it's really nice.
Yeah, it feels good as a big fluffy fella. It feels great. Navigation, I tend to like. I think I messed something up. Is there a way to get it to?
Yeah. You just hit reset.
Oh, there we go. I knew I screwed something up there.
It's all good.
This isn't a particularly twisty, high-speed road, but it does have some turns here, and the turning feels fine.
Yeah.
Little 20-mile-an-hour curve here. There's some cars in front of us, so we can't get too crazy. But this is where people are driving, guys. This is I don't know if you can show this on the road a bit, but yeah, this is how people are driving, right? They're going down. Oh, there's construction. It kind of ruined. Boo construction. But this is where real people are living with R2, through the neighborhoods, going through the schools, heading into Target, heading into Starbucks. This is where it matters, guys. It's not out there into the Moab desert, as fun as that was to see for everybody. And of course, the whole ethos of Rivian is adventure. So yeah, it will absolutely have those characteristics, and it will have that adventure feel, which is fantastic. But 90% of drivers, and 90% of the time, if not more, will be spent here in the neighborhoods with the family. So I think that will be our next stop, man. Let's head by a park. Let's take a walk around the vehicle and show kind of what makes it special in the market, because this is an SUV that actually looks and feels like an SUV. And that, to me, is what's been missing from the family, is being able to get into something that feels like what it's described as. So that's what I'm looking forward to, and that's what I think we want to check out next. So let's head through here and see what that looks like. So that 360 camera, look at that. That's the kind of stuff that we need for parking. Look at the size. The size is appropriate. I love that. That's very cool. Shout out Rivian with the cool cameras. Here we go. Let's take a look around this proper SUV. Very cool. All right, so we only have a short amount of time. So Zach, let's walk around here, man, and let's just point out some of the things. So I know right off the bat, we've got the traditional kind of look for the headlights. Some quick things to point out that I know I've learned is that they are a little bit different from R1 in terms of like the width. Some other things you can see, it's got the 3 headlamps, which is because it's got that matrix headlights. And I know on the standard, it's only going to have the 2. It's got the tow hooks, recovery hooks down there. But on the standard, again, it won't have that. But the big thing for me, man, isn't these little cool features and gizmos. What's really cool here is the shape. Man, as we go around this, just look at this compared to the Model Y, right? As we flip around, we're talking about one is clearly the SUV, and the other one is called an SUV, but it's a hatchback, man. What do you think?
I mean, it looks like a smaller R1S, which is awesome because it definitely fits that demographic. I mean, obviously the Model Y and the look and profile of it is iconic, but I think you know, when you put these two next to each other, like it's very clear that, you know, this is going for a certain demographic, and it is an SUV, like you said, whereas, you know, the Model Y is kind of more of a sportier hatchback type car.
6 feet tall, jump in the back, man.
Yeah,
you
dude.
just had your seat back as a 6 foot tall guy,
Yeah.
and you know you're looking at the room, of course.
Yeah, I got plenty of leg room. I mean, I could definitely sit back. I mean, I can't sit in the back of a car anyway because I get sick. But if I didn't, like, I could sit back here on a 4 to 6 hour drive, be totally comfortable. You know, you still got a lot of the glass roof there. Bench seat's really comfy. I can put my feet under the seat here. A lot of room. I can spread out. Yeah, this is really comfy. This is really nice.
Let's flip around to the storage that's in the back. So, of course, again, this is where families are going to use it. First of all, you got the drop glass. So as we press this down and up, let's see if we can, how do we get it to drop?
You just hold it.
Hold it. There we go. Drop glass comes down. And this is going to open up this space. This is super cool. So this is one of those things, if you've got a dog, being able to hang out back here, I think that's awesome. I believe right under the V is where this would open. It's probably locked. Oh no, there it is.
Yeah.
So it's got the powered hatch. And then again, the space back here is super cool. So lots of room. You've got your sub trunk area. So as we flip that open, you got your traditional space down here. There is room for a small spare, not a full size, but that's down there. And then over here, this is something I think more automakers need to do this. You've got your 120 volt outlet. 1500 watts, so that's cool to see. And then the seats fold down. There's a button here that allows this to push forward. It is the 60-40 split, but just look at the, oh, the seat is too far forward. The amount of space here is tremendous. So when you're doing your Costco runs, again, this is why the families are going to buy this. Going to Costco, putting the pets back here, getting the kids back here. And the other thing about that width, right? We talked about Zach being 6 foot tall and the amount of leg room he had. That's important, but also you got to think about car seats. If you've ever had the big car seats back there when your kids are facing in reverse, those things are wide. And being able to get those back there is super important to have that width. Of course, for me, a couple big things. Having the charge port next back here is super important. Everybody's kind of doing this now. So great to see this. This is a manual door, so nothing too bougie or fancy. It won't open by itself, but it is next, so that's important. Some people would argue that this should be up in the front, not in the back, because as an adventure vehicle, sometimes people will tow or they'll have bike racks in the back. Debate that in the comments. Let me know what you think. And then, of course, my big passion is always the front. So there is another touchpad right here. And will it open? There it goes. Now, this is not powered. This is just spring-loaded, right? It's got the kind of shocks there, and it pops open, but lots of space in the front. So, you know, this is what I love to see. Still usable. You can still put your golf clubs in here, that kind of thing, but it will not power down. So, Zach, if you can just help me by pushing that down. Yep. But it does have a soft close. So once you get it down to there, boom, goes right back down. So we, again, just have limited time, so we're going to hop back in. I'm going to let Zach get behind the wheel. We are going to take it back to Rivian because that's all the time we have. We are not big-time influencers, but if you guys can like, subscribe, leave comments, share the video, and help us engage with this, hype it up on mobile, because that will help with the views. Maybe one day I will get invited by Rivian out to Utah. We can go hang out.
I would love to.
With all those kind of cool people.
Yeah.
And we can get more than 10 minutes with the R2. But for today, this is all the time we have. So we're going to drive it back. We're going to see what Zach thinks as a current R1T owner, see how it feels for him, because he really has the experience. So let's jump back in and see his thoughts. All right, we're back in, and we are heading back to Rivian to return the R2. I think the big thing again for me is just being in a proper SUV. The width of this is a big deal, and the little extra space being a box, not so much an egg. And it's easy to compare it, of course, to the Model Y that we just saw, because that's the gold standard, right? It's #1 selling vehicle in the world. Arguably, some people will say RAV4, but I'm not going to quibble. 1, 2, whatever you want to say. Clearly, it is the gold standard for EVs and arguably cars around the world. So that shape is what people think of, and they keep calling SUVs. And the Mach-E, again, to me, that's a hatchback. Model Y, to me, is a hatchback. And then people just gotten used to calling those things SUVs. And for the first time, to me, when they announced R2, I would say Kia's got the EV9.
Yeah.
That's a proper SUV.
That's a good looking SUV, yeah.
But this is starting at, they're saying 44 is the standard. Is that right?
Yeah, coming next year, I believe is like 44.9 or 45 or something, somewhere in there.
And you can't get the Kia at that price. So I think, to me, that's the big game changer. As a family person, as a dad, it's the ability, to me, to start getting an actual SUV that looks like an SUV. It's going to get 330 miles of range. Not at the standard price. The standard is going to be more like 270.
Yeah.
You know, they come with a lot of different options, and of course, when you start to option the things up, the price goes up. But you don't miss a lot when you're going into the standard. You don't get the drop-down glass. You start to lose the all-wheel drive. You do start to give up a few features for sure. Your sound system changes, but come on, guys, how spoiled are we that we're talking about? I think it's 350 horsepower, right?
Yeah. No, it's 600.
No, on the standard.
Oh, on the standard.
Standard.
Yeah. Sorry.
So the standard is 350. And I can remember my Camaro, my 35th anniversary Camaro, LS1 engine, 325.
Yeah,
okay?
I had an Acura TL Type S, and it only had 306.
Yeah, so come on, guys, right? And so it's just one of those things where the standard is still one heck of a great value. And I'm looking forward to seeing these things on the road. And for the folks that are out there for the adventure, you're looking at a vehicle that when you're into the 50, 55, you're still at half price of what the R1S was.
Yeah, I mean, it's half of what mine was. My R1T, the sticker on it was 96. So, half the price for... I mean, I'm gonna say it, a better car. This definitely feels a little bit more solid than my late Gen 1 R1T.
Yeah, what are you feeling right now? As we're kind of going through, we're taking some corners, we're going through the neighborhoods.
It's really smooth. Can definitely tell that it's not a quad motor like my truck. The shape of the steering wheel is a little interesting because it's flatter on the top than mine.
See, I wouldn't have even noticed that.
Yeah, it's got the traditional squircle shape, if you will. R1T and R1S have this flat on the bottom but not on the top, so it's very interesting to have that. The smaller driver display is a little interesting as well. I'm looking for specific things, and they're not where they usually are, which is kind of cool, but that's also, Rivian OS 2.0. Love the fact that the time and the temperature are on the driver display finally, and that it's off to the left on the screen like on Teslas. Thank God. I love this pill here on the side. But yeah, the car itself is very easy to drive. It's very smooth.
How's the regen feel compared to what you're used to?
Regen feels exactly the same.
Okay.
We have it on high regen, and it's very bitey. It grips really well when you... Here, we'll we'll do it here. We're coming up to a stoplight. Like, it feels exactly the same. I mean, we were going maybe about 30 miles an hour, and I came to a dead stop in about a second.
Here's another R2, probably from the same place going on a demo drive.
Yep. But yeah, it feels really good to drive. It's very smooth. The ride is very comfortable. Granted, I think we're on the 21s. So, you know, it's got the street tires. We've got, I switched it to soft ride feel, hard regen. We're in all-purpose mode. It feels great. It feels like what it should. You know, you expect for a $55,000 model, $57,000. This feels like a premium car at that price point. And just, you know, I know that Rivian's worked very hard, especially like the local guys in the store with these demo models to get them dialed in, to make them perfect. And this is about as close to perfect as you can get. The new CPU and everything in here, like the infotainment, is way better than my Gen 1, even better than the Gen 2s. The cameras on the car are cinematic. I mean, you can probably
Great
shoot
cameras.
a movie on them. Like,
Yeah.
it's insane how clear the cameras are and the quality of them.
Pull up here, right?
We're going in here?
It? I don't know.
No.
No. Sorry. We're trying to figure out how to get back into this mall that this thing has to go back into. This is kind of the R2 in its natural element, as you see us here passing Nordstrom's and the shopping center areas. This is where it's going to spend its time.
A true mall crawler.
A true mall crawler, right? At Starbucks, at Target, at the grocery store, at the pickup line at the schools. And this is where you're able to throw your sports gear in there. You're able to take and get all of the stuff you need from Home Depot into the back. And I'm looking forward to this thing just being on the road, selling at big numbers.
462 on the VIN. I know a lot of people are a little crazy about that.
462.
400 and... Oh yeah, VIN's 4... Oh, hey, green light chime. That's a different sound. R2 performance, all-wheel drive, dual motor, 88 kilowatt hour battery. We are in half moon gray, which is gorgeous. 21-inch wheels, I was right. No active upgrades. Modified from what's in the R1s right now on the current software, so I'm sure that'll change with OS 2.
Over the air update to change the turn signal.
Yeah.
Noted.
Yeah, that's the beauty of... we're not turning.
No, it's not this one. Yeah, it's got to be the next one. All right, we are turning back into the mall parking garage to return it to Rivian. Thank you guys for joining us for this great adventure. We are going to back it up into its space where it belongs, and then we'll wrap it up from outside of the car. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up for the R2. Thanks to Zach for coming along and being my guide. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. There's so many R2 videos out there, and we really appreciate you tuning in for this one. Let us know what you think down in the comments. Do you guys have a reservation for R2? Is this something you guys are looking into for your family? What are the reasons that attracted you to R2? For me, it's because it's a true SUV. I can actually do a U-turn in it. It's going to be one of those things for the family that I think is going to be exactly what we need for all the things that we use it for on our day-to-day stuff, not so much the adventure aspect. Are you using it for adventures, for off-roads? Are you using it to go to Costco? Let us know. We'll see you on the next one.